Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel, and yeah, hope you're still enjoying your Thursday. I have put a video up already today, so if you are watching me for the first day, please go back on the channel, have a little watch. There's basically lots and lots of updates about players going, really, and the reason why that is so prevalent I will explain in this video, as it will lead to the incomings in this video. So in this video, to give you a heads up of what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking a little bit about, obviously, Brennan Johnson to shock people. We're also going to be talking about Conor Gallagher. Just really quickly, the Conor Gallagher thing kind of died down and then picked back up, and it's now soaring again. So something's going on there, evidently. And we do have a update around Japhet Tanganga and a move away, but not to where you think, or to a league that you think. Bit shocking. And no, it's not Saudi Arabia. All right. Let's start, though, with... I think I'm going to start with Brennan Johnson, okay? That's the most legitimate deal I think that we're going to be doing. And, yeah, we obviously talked earlier in the summer, Spurs, I'm talking about as a royal we. We talked earlier in the summer with Forest about how, we want to do a deal with a player exchange, blah, 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 right? That was earlier in the summer, so I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it now. And... basically, Matt Law has been a very busy boy today. Very, very busy boy. And he's come out and said, and this was this morning, he said that Brennan Johnson Spurs' offer for Brennan Johnson is expected to be submitted imminently. So hopefully we do find out a little bit about, has it been rejected? Has it been accepted? What is it? What's the situation? Is there a player exchange? They might not tell you there's a player exchange, they might just tell you the valuation of the bid, that sort of thing. It'd be good to kind of know what sort of ballpark we're playing in, right? I think that's always a healthy thing. Instead of me going, he's worth this, and you going, but he's worth that, and this is where we are, blah, 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 right? It'd be nice to actually have a ballpark, okay? I'm not saying I need to know exactly it's 47.12 million, just 40, 45, somewhere in that realm. At least I have an idea, right? The reason why this obviously is now a must-do deal, and that's the thing, I think we've kind of been shoehorned into this weird little realm, is because obviously, we were talking to Ansu Fati, we weren't that fully sure on him, we didn't pull the trigger on him, even though, potentially we could have. But it also remains to be a situation of, well, you've loaned out Dane Scarlett, now it's another attacking option that's gone out. We need an attacking option in. It's mandatory that we get one in now. If you've let your best player go, who's an attacking option, you need to get someone in. And Alejo Veliz, who's not 100% ready, as they said, it needs a little bit of time to get himself ready for the Premier League and getting ready to play for Spurs. We could do with someone in that's maybe a little bit more ready to go, right? Which I think is fair. I'm not saying anything that's out of the realm of the world. So we're expecting a move for Brennan Johnson imminently, right? Paul O'Keefe just adding a little bit to this, he said that Spurs are still working on Brennan Johnson, but the clubs are apart on the valuation currently. I just think as time starts to whittle down, and we are probably about a day and a half away now. I think we're a day and 10 and a half hours away from the window being shut, right? You'll probably start to see that this deal might start to speed up a little bit because time is of the essence. And if you're haggling over 1 to 2 million or something that's small, it's probably going to be something that you might skip over and kind of go, should we just get this done? So, especially for Forest as well. This is one of their best players. They're going to want to do something about it quickly. They're going to want to maybe replace him, or they just want it over and done with so they can just focus on their season. They can focus on their club. Same with us. Let's get it, if it's something that we want to go for, let's get it over and done with, That's obviously me being said, that's probably more my attitude tomorrow. Today, we still got a little bit of time to kind of negotiate, but I think tomorrow when time starts to come of the essence and he still needs to do his medical, he still needs to do paperwork, you probably start to find that the deal will be sped up quite a bit. And it's such a shame that we're leaving a lot of our business to later on in the window. But anyway, Jake Steinberg also followed up with saying that Spurs are expected to bid for Brennan Johnson today. So you can kind of see this is something that we might get a bit more out of today, okay? But let's talk Conor Gallagher next, okay? And this, by the way, does coincide with Pierre Højbjerg, as you can kind of expect. Matt Law, again, off the bat from the Telegraph, saying that Spurs are considering a late bid to sign Conor Gallagher. Although the first person to respond to that from what I saw was talking about how we were panicking. So I don't know how you guys feel about that deal, but panicking might be something that you think of. You let me know. That was from Matt Lord talking about that. And he also followed up saying that we're weighing up a late bid with an offer to expect to go with Brennan Johnson. So he's kind of tying in the two together. It remains to be seen whether Spurs will formalise their interest in Gallagher. So it's more interest that we have, that we're kind of going to see what happens with Højbjerg, and then we'll see what happens with Gallagher. He also said the scale of Tottenham's late business may be impacted by how many players they can offload before the window shuts. Spurs need to get rid of at least 3 overseas players to avoid headache over their 25-man squad. Well, I mean, if you think about it, you know, we're talking about how Ndombele has interest potentially from Inter Milan. And to give you a bit of a heads up, Charlie Alcocer said that he would be interested in a move to Inter Milan. Shock, I know. But if you think maybe Tanganga and Ndombele might be that, Hugo Reis, you know, he's probably going to get bought out of his contract or at least released. He'd be another one. Hard to see maybe the third one being so prevalent, but, you know, Sergio Reguilon could be that. You know, Ivan Perisic could be that. Davinson Sanchez could be that. The reason why I mentioned Davinson Sanchez right at the end is Paul O'Keefe has supposedly said Sanchez and Tanganga are available to leave the club, which does shock me. I feel like we're leaving a lot of... I mean, we're talking about Dyer, Tanganga and Sanchez, right? I think Sanchez would be more of a if we get a deal that we like, whereas the other two, it's more about getting out the door, okay? Which I'm coming to Tanganga in a second. Just stick with me here. I promise, stick with me. The reason why I think it's more Sanchez being a deal that we want to suit us is because we also don't want to leave too much business where we're focusing on, you know, a Brennan Johnson, a midfielder, a centre-half, maybe what else can come. We've got a day and a half. We don't want to leave any more than 3 deals going on. If we start mucking around with a 4th or 5th deal, it's too much. And by the way, I don't think it'll be 4 or 5. I do think maximum will be 3. I think they're so focused on doing so many deals out that deals in. If you're thinking 3 in, there's probably going to be looking at 3, 4, 5 out. You're working on 7 or 8 deals at one time. Fabio Paratici is going on the sidelines going, look, I can only do so much from over here because I'm not allowed inside sorting out all these deals. Daniel Levy, all I'm going to say is Daniel Levy probably is going to need a few Red Bulls tonight to get through. But knowing him, he'll probably leave it all to the 11th hour, you know. But hey, ho. So, I've got to add about Conor Gallagher. Dan Kilpatrick said that Conor Gallagher would be allowed to leave Chelsea for around 50 million. Spurs are keen if they offload Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. 50 million? Really? It makes that Bentancur deal, which is like, 18, 90 million, look like an absolute freaking bargain. The other thing, I guess, with the 50 million, you've got to add on English tax, right? He's an English international. He's a midfielder. He'd suit our system. I don't know. We'll see. But Jacob Steinberg also follows up with saying the Spurs are set to make a late attempt to sign Chelsea's Conor Gallagher, who's also on Bayern Munich's radar. Bayern Munich seem to be like Saudi Arabia. They just want everyone at the moment. Please just take Eric Dyer. That's all I care about. If you want to take Gallagher as well, fine. But just take Dyer first and foremost. Get that one done. We'll even get out of the way and let you have Gallagher if you really need it, you know? So there we are. But yeah, Jacob Steinberg, by the way, Jacob Steinberg and Matt Law, the 2 big ones of this video. But Jacob Steinberg with another bit saying that Spurs are looking to find a buyer for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I just think Simon Jones's thing about the whole loan with an obligation is quite a good deal. Because FFP this summer is not really going to be anything that we need to be worried about, right? We're not worried about it anyway. We're one of the better teams at this sort of thing because, you know, what a surprise. But you could probably kick that on to next summer, kind of go, right, boom. We've got £40 million already in the door and we haven't let anyone, in theory, new leave. It's someone that's already on loan who's now gone and stayed there permanently, you know? So, yeah, that's a little bit of that. Now, moving on to a bit of Japhet Tanganga, which, by the way, can I just say, it's one of the coolest names I've ever seen. Japhet Tanganga. I love it. Shoot me. Whatever you think about him as a player, you can know his name's cool, right? This comes from Charlie Alcocer in The Athletic, and he said that Spurs are in talks with Augsburg over a potential move for Japhet Tanganga. A permanent deal as well as a loan deal are being discussed. Spurs want the former. Augsburg, Bundesliga. I didn't expect that. I can't lie. I thought it'd be Premier League or Serie A. I just had that thing. It wouldn't be La Liga. It wouldn't be Liga. And it'd be those two leagues, right? And then the Bundesliga coming and going, hey, we wouldn't mind a bit of that. Do Augsburg have the money that we would want for a sale? Because we're probably wanting, this is my guess, don't shoot me for this, but I'd say we're probably wanting about 15 million, right? That might have, add-ons included within that. You get the idea, right? You get the vibe. But if that's the case, and we're doing a loan deal, is there a loan with an obligation to buy in that? Again, kind of like a Højbjerg situation, that could work. I think actually if you let Tanganga go, you're probably going to need to get a centre-half in, right? And is Tosin the guy? Because obviously we're going to be talking about how we need, non-foreign players according to that article. Tosin could be that. As much as we all quite like Pershers and what he offers, Tosin could be that. I think midfielder Conor Gallagher gives you that as well, gives you more flexibility. If a foreign player, Højbjerg, goes out the door, you bring in an English international. You can see how it works. I don't know. I'm confused by that, but I feel like I'm going to get a lot more knowledge about that in the next sort of 6 to 12 hours about how all these deals are. Where are they? Is it a no-go? Is it a go-go? Wake me up before you go-go. All that jazz, right? So we'll sort of see. I don't really know. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a little bit more positive than the last one because I know the last one did irk a few feathers. I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. It's not me. I'm not doing it to you on purpose. I'm just reporting what I've seen. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like I said. And in the comment section below, you've obviously got the Brennan Johnson bid imminently. You've got the Conor Gallagher bid coming in. You've got the Højbjerg potentially leaving. Japhet Tanganga leaving. I really want to know about this whole Conor Gallagher thing because we haven't really spoken about him for a while. And knowing Højbjerg will be going and knowing Gallagher will come in and there's not a huge price difference between the two, do you think that's an upgrade? I want to know your thoughts and feelings about that, as well as all the other deals, but that one especially as well. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit the bell notification for more. I'm going to be busy. You're going to be seeing a lot of this face and I'm sorry for it. I am sorry. Hands up. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy it and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.